On today's show, we're going to have a look at the 3D viewer from Creality. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome to The First Layer. My name's Richard Cleveland. This is a show that explores the world of 3D printing, and today is no different. Today we're diving into the Creality 3D viewer, which is essentially a webcam with some extra features for your 3D printer. So you can monitor, you can control your 3D printer, you can even send files to it from an SD card loaded into the little camera. Now, the camera's not very big. It's pretty small. It doesn't come in a very big box either. It retails for right around $69 Canadian, I think. I think you can find it a little bit less on some of the online services. But I know that Spool 3D is selling them for $69, and it's a great little camera. I've had a chance to play with it, so we're not going to go through the whole unboxing thing. I've played with it on my 3D printers at home, and I found it to work quite well, in fact. You do need to have your cell phone, so it's going to work on your cell phone or tablet. It comes with an instruction manual, all the cabling you need, an SD card, and the camera all come in this box, along with its own little brick, I guess you can call it, for powering the camera. Now, the camera is not rechargeable, so it does always have to be plugged in. It is full high definition, so 1080 resolution on this camera. It's pretty compact. It's got a magnetic base, so you can stick it onto metal, and we'll just do that right here. So you can stick it on top of your 3D printer. You don't want to do that because now you're going to not be able to use the fan on the front. You see, it's not going to take in any air. The manual, well, let's just show you the manual. We're going to go to this little camera that's in front of me. And you can see the manual is mostly Chinese. Oh yeah, you see that little black line right there underneath the Chinese characters? That's English. So the manual needs to be reprinted for North American English-speaking people. But like I said, it comes with everything that you need: a guide, an adapter, an SD card, a micro USB cable, USB power cable, and of course the 3D viewer. Now, it's the lenses on the front. This camera also has on it, and I'll just come around here so you guys can see it. It also has an IR sensor. So this thing will actually look at your print in a dark room, so you don't necessarily have to have the lights on. It has a SD card slot on it. There is a power, of course, on the back, and there is no microphone on this, which you don't really need a microphone, I don't think. It says that you can send commands to it, and we'll show you that in the app in just a little bit. It'll work both on iOS and Android, so you can see there's the QR codes that you just scan. Now, I tried scanning this code on using my Android phone, and it's a fairly new phone. It's a Samsung A8, and the QR code would not work. So I actually went into the Play Store and I found the 3D viewer software and downloaded it for North America. Shows you how to connect everything. We're going to go ahead and do that right now. First and foremost, we are going to download the app. And I've got the app here already loaded onto my phone. So we'll just pull that up. There it is there. There's the app. Of course, you can see we don't have any printer set up or any camera set up right now. It's showing that it is offline. So what we have to do here is we have to make sure that this is going to talk to this. So you want to back out of here. We're going to exit. You're going to go into your settings on your phone. You're going to look at connections. And we're going to go ahead and find the connection that we need for this little IP cam. And you can see it came up there as IP cam .027, and there's a number behind it. What you're going to do is you are going to connect to that. You will have to put in a code. And now we're just going to go to another network here. There we go. Samsung's a little finicky. It might be a little easier on iOS. But if we open this up, I'm going to show you all the IP network information here because it's only on my phone, so it doesn't matter. So now we are going to go back, and we've got it set to auto connect, so whenever this phone is here, it will connect to our little doodad there. Our little camera, that's what we got. Now we just back out all of this. And we'll go back into the Creality. Now I'm going to log in. You can see I've already put in my login information. It'll ask you to log in. And now it's logging me in. At least it should be logging me in. This is the same problem I had before. You have to go back to your Wi-Fi. Make sure you're on Wi-Fi to log in. That's the problem that I had before. And again, I'm trying to see this while I'm looking over a camera. There we go. So let's go back to our regular Wi-Fi connection. We'll get out of there. We'll go back in. We'll log in. There we go. Now we're logged in. Now once we're logged in here, we're just going to back out really quickly and change that back over to the IP cam. Which is right there. Get out of there. Go back into because we've logged in, we're good. We are going to leave that there. Now we've got the camera, and we're actually talking to the camera at this point. So now what we have to do is we have to go into the settings. You can see the camera now has come up. This is where we control it. We have my account information down there. We're not connected to any printer at this point. Oh, let's go back here to printer. All right, and we see we've got different files that we've got loaded onto the SD card, which is fine. Let's see if we can connect. We're going to hit the plus, and we're just going to make sure that we've got, oh, there we go, big fingers. So it says my XL camera is online and everything is functioning. There is a QR code that you can use. There's Wi-Fi, so let's set up the Wi-Fi here in the office. It says right now we're not connected to a Wi-Fi access point. So what we're going to do, this will not work on 5G. It has to have 2.5 gigahertz connection. So we are going to do that, and we'll go back to my shining face while I put in the passcode here. All right, let's pause.
Oh.
Recording. All right, so you can see I've entered my password. Now what you want to do is hit done. And it says it's online. Now we can go back. And we should be back on our regular Wi-Fi network. So here's how we're going to control this. Now we can see that the camera is right here. There we go. Maybe it's going to give us something, I don't know. This is the same problem I had this when I was setting it up at home. So when your camera is connected, you're going to see an online message appear there above your blue lettering there, and that's basically the name of your camera or the IP address of your camera, and the XL camera is what you're going to use. Now you can have as many XL cameras as you want. If you want to put one on every printer, you can use them all through this app, so it's not limited to one camera. Once you have that on there and it says online, you're just going to click the camera, and then you can see here my fingers now are showing up on the camera. We're kind of waving there a little bit. Now, in order to get this to be used with the printer, it comes with a secondary cable. So we have the secondary cable that we're going to use, and we're going to plug it into the back of the camera. and we're going to take it over and we're going to plug it into our printer. Let's move the bed back here. We'll find that little setup for the printer, and we'll plug it directly in. Now, so far as I know, you cannot, at this stage, send files from the camera's SD card to the SD card on the 3D printer. It just doesn't work that way. You have to put your files on the SD card that you are going to put into the 3D viewer camera. But we have some already loaded here. What do we got here? Let's see if we can find something that's pretty easy. I got all kinds of little stuff here, and I'm not sure what to use. Okay, we're going to use one of those files. But first, before we can even do that, we have to connect to the camera. So I'm going to put it there on the, get some of those cables out of our way. We can see what's going on with the phone here. All right. So we're going to hit the connect button. And now it's looking for the printer. And it will give you a message up at the top here if you're connected. There we go. It says online and printer connected up at the top. Now, if you want to get a wide view, because that's kind of a small view, you can go ahead and you'll see down here in the bottom corner, there's 4 arrows. If you just go ahead and tap those, it will bring you to a widescreen shot of the camera. And you can see that this camera isn't horrible. This camera is going to give you very much like a GoPro will. It has sort of that fisheye lens on it. But down at the bottom, we have a speaker that we can turn on and off. We have a camera, which will give us a photograph of currently where we are. We also have a video camera. This video camera will allow you to record your 3D prints or record, you know, what's happening on your 3D printer. Now, this does not do it, so far as I know, this is not being done as a time lapse. Now, that's something they may improve in the future with the software. I believe this camera can do time lapse. It just right now is not set up for it. It will, however, create an AVI file on the SD card inside the camera. Then this looks like you can change the mode. We're going to go to HD mode, and then you have your preferred speed. So we're going to go to HD mode, so everything is in high definition. And then we're going to hit these little arrows again because we want to go back and find a file that we can print. So right now we're going to print, let's print Josh number 2. And you'll see that it came up with a little blue dialog box. One of them has a garbage can on it, and the other one shows a printer. If you hit the printer, it will now start to heat up, and we've set it to 60. So it's going to heat up the bed. I don't know how well that's going to show. There we go. So you can heat up the bed, and you can also go ahead and heat up the nozzle. And it will, based on the parameters that were set during the slice. Now, if you need to do any kind of adaptation or you want to find out anything, there's a little cog wheel there. There is a way to jog the printer in all 3 axes, so you can change that. You can home it. If we go ahead and home it, it's currently looking for something. Oh, it's currently loading, that's why. So it's not going to home just yet. Now, you can change it from 0.1 millimeters to 1 millimeter and all the way to 10 millimeters. And I know that's pretty hard to see. We can also set our temperatures. Right now, you can see down here, we're set to 60, and currently it is at 40 degrees. So we know that it's going up. So it's a good way to monitor. Now, down at the bottom, you can see that we have cloud and mall. If we hit cloud, it doesn't give us anything. It's a blank screen. So there's nothing there. If we hit mall, same thing. So these are some of the things that I think they're still developing within the app itself. But if we go back to running, we can see exactly what's happening. We can pause the print if we want. We can also stop the print if we want, if it's not going very well for us. But we're going to let that start, and we'll go back to that really wide screen so you guys can see that. I'll get my fat head over there. There we go. That way you don't get a lot of glare. And as soon as this is all heated up, it is going to start. Ah, the sounds of a Ender 3 stock. Don't you just love those sounds? Those are my favorite. No, not really. They're not my favorite. Now, the camera's a little low for my liking, in all honesty. So I would probably take the box that this thing comes with, this guy right here, boop, for now, and just set it there so I can see what's happening. Just put my little kickstand back up and you guys can see what's happening now. So now it's printing just fine. If I want to, let's go back to the controls here. And if I want to pause the print, I just tap the pause button. And as soon as it's finished what's in the cache, it will pause. If I want it to continue, I just hit continue. And there it goes again. It's starting to print again. So how does this compare to something like Octoprint? Well, it doesn't have nearly as many features as Octoprint, but for a camera solution that will allow you to have some control from anywhere in the world via your cell phone, as long as you've got a internet connection, no matter where you are, you will be able to control your printer. Start it, stop it, see it in the dark, jog it around if you need to. If you find you've got a failure and you want to lift that head, you can go ahead and move that around. You can set temperature if you want to preheat it before you start a print. You can certainly do that as well. Do I think this needs a little bit more refinement? Absolutely I do. I think that the camera itself is great. I think where the fault lies is in the app that comes with it or that you download. By that, I mean that this could use some better instruction first and foremost. The QR codes are bad for North America, so just go over to the Play Store and just download the 3D Viewer app from the Play Store if you're in North America or any English-speaking country, and you should be fine. It's not that complicated to set up, but it can have a few little bumps in the road. But once you've got it set up, it will work 24/7. Now, the drawback to it is that if you're watching it like I am there right now, you are going to find that it will drain your battery on your phone fairly fast. So having this checking in on a print at home over the course of a day, my battery life was at 100% when I launched the app. The app will continue to run in the background unless you tell your phone to stop running the application. If it stops running the application, it is no longer connected to your phone. So when you launch the app and you sign in again, then you'll be able to, then it'll stay connected to your phone. Other than that, is it a product I would buy? Absolutely. It's a lot less fuss than setting up something like Octoprint or Astroprint. Doesn't have the same functionality as Astroprint or Octoprint, but it's a great little solution for somebody that's not very adversed in using Python or using Linux-based kernels or Linux programming when you're setting up Octoprint or even Astroprint for that matter. You don't have to go out and buy a Raspberry Pi. You don't have to case. You don't have the extra memory card. You don't have all those little things that you need to get for your Raspberry Pi to make something that automates your 3D printing. This is a nice little tidy solution. I'm sure as the app continues to be developed, we'll see more functionality like the mall and like the cloud, which will come in very handy down the road. But for now, at $69 Canadian, would I buy one today? Absolutely, because it's easy to set up. And now that it's set up on my phone, I can just continually add different cameras to it. As many as I like. And it doesn't just necessarily work with Creality printers. It will work with Wanhao. It will work with any Cubic. As long as you can plug it into the printer, it's going to read the printer. It's going to tell you exactly what you're using. So it's kind of an all-in-one solution. I recommend it. Go out if you're interested in getting one. They're kind of cute. They're magnetic. They can pretty much go anywhere. You don't have to make any special brackets for it. The problem is that there's no real stem on it. The one thing I think they should have done was put a 1/4-20 fitting on the bottom, made this so that you could remove it and have a 1/4-20 fitting. So if you wanted to use a little tripod like this Manfrotto I'm using right here, you could put it on a little tripod like that, or even a little couple dollar tripod that you can find at the dollar store. It's not a heavy camera, so it would work out fine. I'm sure somebody's going to make an adapter on Thingiverse for that camera so that it can be adapted to a 1/4-20 thread, and you put it on a little mini tabletop tripod. So, great product. I think it's good. You guys know that I like Creality, but I will always tell you when Creality has messed up, and in this case, I don't think they have. They just have a little bit more development work to do. So check it out on Amazon. I think you can get it. You can get it through, of course, Spool 3D if you're in Canada. You can get it from some of the other online retailers, I believe, like Banggood. Maybe not Banggood, but what's the other big one? AliExpress. I think you can get it through the Creality store on AliExpress. And of course, you can certainly buy it off of Creality's website. And we'll put some links down below so you guys can find it and try it out for yourself. I like it, so that's all that needs to be said. In the house today, we've got Brian behind the controls. There he is. And Jess is sitting over here to my right, keeping me company. There she is. And we've got the dog in here somewhere. Roscoe's wandering around somewhere. And with that said, I want to thank those guys for coming in and giving me a hand today. And thanks Spool 3D for the wonderful space that they provide us each and every week to film these for you and to bring you the best information that we can about 3D printing and the world of 3D printing. And they've got everything that you need, from printers to accessories like this camera and filaments and all kinds of other goodies for your next build or your next upgrade. Check them out today at spool3d.ca. Print it right, print it with Spool 3D. Hey, listen, if you're new here, this is your first time checking out the show, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Also, go ahead and hit that little bell so you get notified every time that we do a brand new episode here on The First Layer. We do a live stream every Saturday night, and this Saturday will be no different. Come and join us at 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and bring your questions with you so we can answer them live and hopefully get you back on the right track if you're having problems with your 3D printer. So until then, my friends, remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print.